Hi everybody, PincheAls Garage here, and I'm PincheAl. Today on episode 2, we're going to be doing motor mounts on a Mark 4 Jetta GLI. We're actually going to upgrade their motor mounts from stock up to using 034 motor mounts. They're track density specifications, so they're going to be a much stiffer ride for him. But before we go ahead on that, today's episode, I'm actually asking from me to you to help out PincheAls Garage. What I mean by that is on the upper right hand corner of actually on my YouTube channel, we have a link to my online store. My online store provides pretty much t-shirts, lanyards, stickers for you guys to help represent my YouTube channel and help that show off that you did the stuff yourself by using my YouTube videos that I made for you guys specifically. But with every purchase you guys make on the YouTube channel helps us out buy better equipment for the channel. It's not helping funding any of the projects that we do. It actually helps more buy video equipment, better lighting, better tools to do our jobs faster and better for you guys, so you guys can have a better experience when you do it from home. Now, the reason why I'm asking for this is because we are hurting right now to do a lot of our YouTube videos, and we're not getting as much cars coming in to do videos on. So from me to you guys, I am requesting that you guys hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on YouTube. If you guys live within my area in Escondido, California, 92083, I'm willing to actually meet up with you guys or have you guys come to my place and we do a DIY on your car. I'm not charging anything for these. All I'm asking for is for you guys to purchase a bundle from me, or even donate a couple bucks to the channel. This just allows for us to do more for you guys. My next goal, our next project down the road, is actually a review on the Solux coilovers we just installed on episode 1. So just stay tuned for that. We're going to be doing a full VR or 360 degree experience on that. But without further ado, episode 2, motor mounts, and let's roll that intro.
Next time.
This is Stitch Uation Mark 4 GLI. It's definitely different, you know, and we're going to be doing pretty much his motor mounts today with 034 track density mounts. So the first thing we're going to need to do is drain the coolant. If you guys ever seen a coolant DIY, it's pretty straightforward. Take the cap off from here, down below. You click on the little, pull on the little tab right here, drain and let the coolant drain into a bucket. Since we're going to reuse as much as we can, so save as much as you can. And then the owner of this lovely Mark 4, right here. One more time the name. Lee Sander. Yeah, this guy's pretty much got a 1.8T. Tons of actually mods. It's got the 42 draft design intake, huh? Yeah. I love that intake.
Big boost. Got stuck in a lot of L.
APR diverter valve, ACS turbo inlet pipe, forged radiator, hoses. Looks like he's got an upgraded shifter, right?
Yep.
Shift linkage? TT?
HPA.
Oh, the HPA shift linkage, or I'm not shift linkage, short shifter. Nice, man. So once your coolant started leaking, the next thing is to remove the coolant ball. It's going to have 1, 2 Phillips screws. Let's see right here. Your sensor. You're going to need some pliers to pinch this right here down to pull this off. You did say that you had the nipple cracked right here, right?
Yeah.
So we might end up cracking it more. Just FYI. Do you have a coolant ball with you?
No.
Okay, we're
Yeah, it's in another box.
yeah, because we might end up breaking it, taking that off. Or actually, you know what? We can refrain from that and take it off from over here, and then that way we don't have to take that part off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're also going to need to remove, or not remove it, just move out of the way, unclip the hoses here. The power steering does not need to be disconnected, just needs to be moved out of the way. Remove the intake hose right here. Maybe move the wiper reservoir, we don't know yet. But all this has to be moved out of the way because you need to get to the 216s and the 18s on the motor mount itself. So we'll get to it right now. So with the coolant ball removed, the next thing you're going to need to do is grab a deep socket 10 mil and pull out the little bolt that's right here that holds the power steering. With that, this gives you pretty much the ability to move this kind of out of the way when you need to, so you can get access to that 16 mil right here. This one's already accessible, and then this will also allow you to move it over this way, and then give you access to the 18 millimeter bolts there right here. Once those are all broken loose, don't take them off, just break them loose, put a jack underneath the engine, and then support it pretty well. Usually we recommend a nice 2x4 on an actual jack. Once you got that on there, right here, a nice 2x4. Put the jack on the bottom, right on here to hold it. Jack it up. Once you see the engine move up like a little bit, stop. That means you're supporting all the weight. You don't want to actually pick up the car with the engine, because you can do that lifting it from here, just because it'll make it harder for the motor mount to come out when you actually get to that point. So 2x4 jack stand, you're good. I mean jack all the way up. Once you feel the motor go up a little bit, stop. And then start working on the motor mount on the left first. You want to replace that motor mount first. Once you got it all secure in place, I'll give you guys the torque specs, and then put everything back together on this side, and then work on the right side after that. So with the 218s, you make sure you get a breaker bar to break these loose, because these are on really, really tight. The 16s aren't. There's a little bracket here. It sits right on top with the 13, both sides. Take that one off. You don't have to put that back on if you don't care for it. Now this is why we needed to get this up here. I'm trying to tug too hard on this, because the motor mount now is pretty much off. That's how you pull out a motor mount on a Mark IV without taking the entire car apart. Reverse the process. Oh, let's see actually the wear. Let's see if they're actually pretty worn or not. Ah, here you go. If you look right over here, it's starting to rip. See the rubber just wearing. I mean, this is actually really good wear on a motor mount. On the back, you can see it's starting to rip down here. The rubber's already trying to just go bad. And this is a brand new one. Obviously, you don't see any of that. You know, all nice and new and fancy. There you go, guys. So reverse the process. I'll post up right now. Actually, I'll give you guys the specs for the mount right now in just a minute. So now with the new hardware, first the torque specs. The motor mount, the 18 millimeters are 74 foot-pounds, and the 16 millimeters are 33 foot-pounds. There's no 90 degree. It's just click and you're done. But when your motor mount comes off for the first time, the engine will once you put the new one on, won't center. You'll see right here where the bolt is kind of at an angle. So, as a rule of thumb, grab the motor and kind of like shimmy it over until you can get it in. If the bolt for any reason won't go in by hand, don't force it in. Keep trying to wiggle it in until you get it right, because if not, you'll cross thread, and you know, cross threading is like the last thing you want on a motor mount. So keep trying until you get that centered. Once you have that down, put everything down by hand as light as possible or as best you can. Once you have that down by hand, then use a ratchet all the way down nice and tight. But there's one more step I'll show you before you go all the way down to the bottom and actually tighten it down. We have to center the mount. You'll see right here where it used to be. We have to make sure that stays that way with the new mount. Anytime you ever remove a mount on these cars, you're going to have to, hopefully the alignment doesn't screw up on the axles, because it does change a little bit of the angle since the car was originally sagging or not centered with the old mounts. Once you put new ones in, it's going to put it back the way it's supposed to be. When that happens, sometimes the wheels will have a little bit of a change in tow. So you might require an alignment, just FYI, people. So now, once you got enough threads in here with a long flathead screwdriver, cram it into the middle right here of this port. This allows us to align the mount to where it originally was, so you don't have to like get any guesswork. So now start tightening it down while someone else is tightening it. I mean, you can do this by yourself. Just take your time. And once it's where it's supposed to be, leave it alone. And check the other side for alignment. If that looks pretty straight, you can get the other one in there. All the way down. While you're doing that, just keep double checking the lines on here to make it look as close as it was to where the original one was that you had on here. If that looks good and doesn't look, out of place or misaligned, you're good. So now get your torque wrench and torque those suckers down to spec. And remember, 74 for the 18s and 33 foot-pounds for the 16s. Alright, so now we got the motor mounts torqued down, 74, 33. Now it's time to put it all back together on this side, and then we're going to work on the right side. Lysander is going to pretty much put it all back together. Just like I was always saying, just double check your work, reverse the process on how you took it all apart. It's really not going to take that long to take that part apart. Over here is where it's going to take a little longer, unfortunately, because there's actually a lot more stuff on this side. So the intake has to come off, the battery has to come out. We have to take out the waterfall over here because this pretty much covers the bolts for accessing the bolts for the 16 millimeter on the motor mount on this side. But the process itself does not change. The entire process is exactly the same as the left, just with more stuff to come out. Alright, so now with the intake taken out, I'm going to try to remove this mount without taking the battery out. So with the breaker bar, here are the two 18s. There's two 16s. You'll see there's a hole right here. You got to take this little tray out. It's just little clips and it slides out. You got to make sure this wire doesn't have these there's a little grommet here that holds it in place sometimes. If it's not there, if it's there, you're going to have to try to pull it and yank it out of its little grommet to access that. Here's the other 16 right here, and then there's a 13 behind this big one right there. Once you break those loose, down here on the transmission side, make sure you do the same thing like you did on the engine, but support the transmission. Jack it up until you see the transmission move up about a 1/4 inch. That's it. Don't put any more pressure onto it. And then break loose the bolts, take them all off, and then we'll show you what to do next. Okay, so one thing I just came across right now that will make it a little bit difficult for you to take the mount out, but not impossible. Once you take the bolt off the mount and you have it all loose, have someone lower the mount, or you can lower the mount, the transmission down a little bit, because this transmission mount sits a little bit higher, so the motor mount itself catches on here and it won't come out. So once you do that, it should give you the amount of space you need to pull it out, okay? So with lowering that transmission down, or lowering the entire engine down, gives you just the right amount of space so you can wiggle that mount out. Here's the new mount. Reverse the process. Shouldn't be that difficult. I think it should actually be easier to put it in. Yep, just as it was actually easier to put it back in. Line it up with the factory holes. Put everything by hand over here. And then jack the mount, the transmission back up and line that up. And then we'll show you how to do that, how to line the motor mount properly. One second. So now the mount's all in place. Use the same torque specs that we use on the other mount on the left. Make sure it lines up. Same method that we use with the flathead screwdriver to line it up here. So you need that. Once you get the bolts down to a certain point, start doing that so you can torque it down right and line up the bolts the way it was from the previous setup. Just remember, go take it out for a drive. Don't drive it hard. See if the alignment's still on point. If the car is starting to pull in one direction, pretty much go do an alignment before you start driving the car more pretty much daily and after this. If not, if the car still drives straight without any issues, you're good to go. Thanks for watching PincheAls Garage, and don't forget to follow Situation on Instagram, right there. Follow his crazy antics with his Mark IV. Do you have a name for her?
The Kraut Cannon.
The Kraut Cannon. All right. So keep watch, and thanks for watching again, PincheAls Garage. I hope to see you guys soon. Thanks for watching this episode of PincheAls Garage. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right over here and to look for the like button down below. Thanks again, everybody, and hope to see you soon.